Welcome back to the P Pod and to another episode of Three Ps on the Pod. I am one of your hosts. I am L.B.Shari.
Jametrice Thomas.
And Kelly B, that's me.
So let me ask Kelly B, are we upgrading the name here?
Yeah, you know what? This always been my name. But I go between Kelly B and Kelly B, that's me. It's been like that since, I don't know, Jametrice when. Forever. Always like, because it got a ring to it, Kelly B. Like, Kelly B, that's
I
me.
get it.
You know what I also think too? Maybe it was from when, you remember Lil Kim? When she went at the beginning, I don't know if what's the one song with her and Lil Caesar?
Crush on You?
Yeah, Crush on You. And it was like Queen B, that's me. It could have been like around then where it's like okay.
I'm cool too. I'm gonna make it.
I like it.
I guess I can say it. I'm a B. You just the T, Jametrice, sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, my
So-
brother always told me if I became, popping, like I should just go with Michi. So I don't know, I might change
I
it.
mean, you know.
Well, I'm not
We
changing
building
anything
brands.
because this is the nickname. Other than that, how we doing today, ladies? Any exciting plans?
Cool. Hanging out with girlfriends later. Going to shows, hanging out with sons later. Kids later. Kid later.
Wait, what was the last part later?
Kid.
Oh,
One kid. I said kids at first. But no, it's only
I
gonna be one.
thought it was a nightcap, but
I'm isolating. I'm playing favorites today, and it's only because he's over 18.
well, I am actually more rested than the last shows. I actually went to bed probably about 1 o'clock, but since we filmed a little later, still got a little bit more rest in. So I ain't got really nothing planned today. Probably I want to find some type of water for the kid, but nothing really planned. Little work,
like a pool.
Oh, okay.
Pool or a splash park.
Oh, what's the weather there?
Oh, it's been hot. It's been hot like in the, I think, 90s.
That's what we've been at. Y'all ain't been at it? Y'all haven't had that? Girl, it's been so hot. My poor little garden been out there dying and wilting.
Damn.
Really? Oh,
yeah, because like it's been like 90-some degrees all week.
Man, I kind of wish, because I want to go to the beach again, but it's been like 77, 80. It's been nice though. It's been sunny. It's been just really comfortable. It's been dope. It's like that today. That's the only reason why I got on pants, because I'm like, oh, okay.
Perfect weather.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies, we're gonna jump into the show today. I think we got some very active things going on. So the very first thing we're gonna talk about it's our favorite, most people's favorite, not everybody. Back in the day, Miss Queen of How You Doing? So this week, she dropped some information saying that she wanted to start a podcast. And she did a couple of promo videos about the podcast. Miss Wendy Williams, if you don't know who we're talking about. Interestingly enough, when she dropped these videos about promoting her podcast, people were very, immediately concerned about her appearance. So I'm going to show you the first video that she actually dropped. So this is the first video she dropped actually on her Instagram.
To do something else. And what I've never done, podcast, which by the way, podcast everyone has. But when you're famous, podcast will make more money for me being famous than doing the Wendy Williams show. So podcast, where will I go? I'm not sure. Europe, the France, wherever I want to go. Also, I know Oz. I know, many people.
So that was her original when she dropped her promo video. So, TMZ is on everybody's stuff. They know everything going on. So TMZ decided to do a quick thing with her and discuss, oh, you want to do a podcast. And that was her explaining why she wanted to do podcasts, not a podcast, but podcast.
Podcast.
And so she was also photographed out. She was photographed out this week, and this was the photograph that had a lot of people worried. And I'll remove this bottom banner so everyone can see like the skin and the legs that everyone was kind of concerned about. I know she was going through where she's, I guess, battling lymphedema, where you have that swelling of the tissues, and sometimes it can make you swell. I mean, I guess this may be effect of maybe the swelling going down in her legs, but it's a little bit alarming for a lot of people. Before I say anything about how I feel about the situation, Jametrice, how do you think about podcasts?
Podcast. I'm gonna start a podcast. Now, she does seem very disoriented. She seems it's crazy how you go from a radio show to having your own syndicated TV show, and then now it just seems like mentally something's going on, and you can't. I mean, you've been like starring your own TV show. You had to be scripted in some ways, say what you wanted in some ways. You seem very coherent, seem like you knew what you were talking about, and now you don't seem like you know what you're talking about. You seem disheveled, all over the place. Like, did they say mentally something was going on? Or, I mean, I know she had Graves. Did she have Graves' disease? Or
so now, what I will also say, just to keep this in mind, it was reported by Page 6 this past week as well that she had made a claim to have gotten married a week or so ago. I think Wendy Williams, she called the Page 6 founder, whatever, is that, oh, I'm excited, I just got married to this past week, and he's a police officer. And so he was shocked, of course, because no one had known she was even dating anybody to get married. So apparently her PR agent came out and said, oh no, it was a mistake. She didn't mean to say that she was married. She may be just really excited about a new relationship, and she just overspoke or misspoke, said that they were married and not married. So after that, people were kind of thinking there's something mentally going on. And ever since, her and her husband got divorced, it was this weird thing going on with her mental stability. So, and then when she came across this past week and said that she got married last week, that sparked even more debates.
Well, women have been known to lose their man over, and men. We ain't gonna just say women, but being in relationships, and especially what she has been through, is a traumatic situation. And then now she has to navigate her life without this man that she has spent so many years with, has put up with a lot of things from. And it seems like some people, when nobody knows about their situation, they seem like they could cope with it a lot more, especially in her case, she's in front of everybody. And as long as we didn't know all the juicy details and gossips about her situation, it was like she was still going on. The moment it seemed like she had to spill her own tea, and everybody like really got into her business, and shocked, because it's like, you that, how you doing? You the gossip queen, and here you got all this stuff under your daggone bed, like, hiding in your closet. And it's like, and then it's just like, it's tears you down, because as a man, it's like, I mean, as a woman, and you're dating this, I mean, you're married to this man, and your money is going to the new woman, or the woman the mistress that's been there, and they having a baby, and you had all these. Did y'all watch her Lifetime story?
I watched the breakdown of it. I don't know, like, with Wendy, like, she also has a substance abuse problem.
Yeah.
Like, she allegedly, but also, like, before, that's why she went on hiatus before. And well, also, with the thyroid issues, and she had all of that going on. I think she does have a lot of stuff going on. And I think now, of course, she looks very disoriented on that video.
And then also keep in mind that also in July, she banks with Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo apparently filed conservatorship papers on her. They didn't think that she is mentally able to actually be in control of her own finances. So they've actually filed conservatorship papers on her, stating that they're also concerned as well about her mental well-being.
I can see that. I used to watch Wendy. You said what? I used to watch Wendy.
Saying, like, if you watched her Lifetime, she's one of those people that has a lot going on, and she hides it. So she puts this facade up this, and you got a lot of stuff going, and eventually you're gonna crack. And she's just cracking at this moment. Unfortunately, she's doing it in front of everybody because she is a celebrity. And now we're witnessing the decline of Wendy Williams. But hopefully, praying that she rise back up. Come on now, Queen.
But I remember before.
So Kelly B, your thoughts on everything?
Yeah, I had watched Wendy from like honestly from get-go, when she first went, like, to see the way she looked from now, to see the way she would speak about things from now. She had a little bit of a zest, a little bit of pizzazz. Like, I can remember even when she was like a VJ, she used to be on the red carpets on E, you know, saying stuff, and she'd be wilding, but she was funny as hell to me. And then it's like you see the way like her takes on certain situations will be to where it'd be like super cut, and you be like, damn, Wendy, like, where that's coming from? That don't really seem quite that logical like you was before. Like, it ain't really as funny now. You just being cutting now, like you being facetious, and it's like, for what?
But she, even before her show, I felt like she did that. Remember when she first was a VJ, and well, not first VJ, when her VJ stuff like kicked off, and she was on VH1, and they gave her that show.
She was the
with Charlemagne.
Like a couple of times before. Like, I remember her then too, but like not far back, like in the 93. I wasn't really checking it like that far back. But it's like to see, like, you saw the decline, and then when you could tell, like, when she would come out and the way she'd be walking and stuff, it's just and how old is she? She's only 58.
She's 58.
And that's, my mom is 58. My mom is 58. I had to make sure.
And I mean, there is a video, and I didn't put that up, of her walking this past week. And that's what they're saying. She's doing all that because she's suffering from lymphedema. Because she's saying when she stopped the show last July that it was because of health issues. She said she's not saying it's substance abuse. She's saying that it was other health issues that she has going on.
She got a lot going on. It's just terrible to see. And a lot of people I've seen on the internet, like I saw the story about this before. I've seen people like say stuff like, you know, I mean, a lot of people aren't like biting at her right now because they feel bad for her. They was like, you know, even though she said a bunch of like crazy stuff before, and she was like that, like, I feel bad for her. And you do, like, even when you saw, like, when Jametrice was talking about with the mistress and all of that stuff playing out there, you just genuinely was just like, damn, you felt bad. And it's like, now this too, it's like you do kind of just feel bad for her. It's unfortunate. Like, I'm
glad people don't want to. I'm glad people are not using this as like saying karma, because you know how some people be like, this is what they get. She shouldn't have been doing all this and that. So I'm glad people are more sympathetic to her.
But I honestly don't think people are going to be sympathetic probably for too long. The thing is, you know, it's people are sympathetic, it seems like, to a certain extent, and then later on, I'm just concerned because it was almost like watching that thing, and I'll even put it back up here. If you looked at her when she was talking, it was almost like she was holding up her.
You know, I've got enough money to do something else.
Her face, and I don't know why it was like she never moved this hand the whole time when she talking. She didn't.
She had kind of always done that, like.
But she's always holding, because it may be because the video is kind of far away. She's always holding it to the side, but this time she's actually kind of like holding her chin up as she's talking, and it was like.
If you look at the picture, though, her face, that picture that you showed when she was walking, if you look up close,
it looks a little different.
Yeah, something looked like it's sagging or.
And I know that she has, unfortunately, a lot of plastic surgery, so she may have had like because she's losing such a rapid amount of weight. Maybe it's kind of making her features a little bit more exaggerated than they normally are.
Her skin is like terribly loose. That means she is incredibly emaciated. Like, but like I said, she has lymphedema. So you could say that, you know, with lymphedema, you'll swell. So it could be that she her lips swole, and then now and it came down so rapidly. But then there's also this concern of people saying maybe she's having issues with not eating because she looks so, like you said, emaciated. So I don't know. I hope she gets better. I don't think that I would watch her podcast. I feel like a podcast right now is not the healthiest thing for her. She's not going to do a podcast. She can't even form a complete sentence now, just with a little interview. A podcast, she not there for that.
Do we really want to see Wendy on a podcast? Like,
No,
but it's like maybe old Wendy. I wouldn't mind saying it. Old
Wendy, but
but now,
but this Wendy needs to focus on herself first. And that's the way I see it.
She ain't gonna be able to do it. It's gonna be a lot of just what's that? And then it's gonna be repetition and stuff. It ain't gonna be coherent.
And that's why I said people are only going to be nice for a certain amount of time, because if she gets on the podcast and she starts doing her normal stuff that she used to do, people are not going to be nice to her anymore. They're going to say, okay, now you on here looking crazy, and they're going to laugh at her.
I think sometimes people, if they get better, if they get a little bit better, it's like one of those things. It seems like people do like, okay, if you get your leg up on something and the podcast do kind of well, then maybe they might. But if it still do bad and she still go on the decline and she still look like she about on the verge of death, let's be real, then they gonna still feel bad for her, because it's gonna be like, oh, she about to go to the upper room soon.
And what is
they gonna feel pity. They do, because people only feel bad for people because before they had all that vitriol for her because she was talking and yada yada. Even when they found out about the mistress, you still had people in there, a lot more, louder people that were saying, oh, that's what she get, but now it's one of them things like people think it's gonna go
and
terribly.
Her father still alive because her mom passed, right?
Did she? I didn't know that.
I don't know. Let me look that up.
I didn't either, because honestly, I hadn't even been checking for her recently, so I'm not even gonna lie.
Like she was very close to her parents.
She was, and that's the thing. I just haven't been paying attention to her. She had a lot going on. I just hope she gets it together.
Yes, I mean, this is one of them times when
like last year, early last year.
On the YouTube, because I mean, I wish I would be famous and my brother then started the YouTube talking about me. Talk about your own stuff. You supposed to be right. You supposed to be cradling around your family. This is where, like, even if you're mad with your family, if your family member is declining in their health, I mean, and it could be a possibility, especially like if they look like they're on the verge of death, something in you should be like, we need to gather around what? The verge of death.
It may not think she likes you on the verge of death.
She do.
Kelly said it.
I hope she
don't like to speak that, but Kelly says she look like she on the verge of death.
And y'all know, do she not?
I mean, to us she do, but maybe her brother think that's the way she always look. We don't know what she look like when she take that makeup off.
Girl, but I'm just saying, this is one of them times when your family should really, the closest people in your life should just gather you with love. I mean, I know that you can't control a person. You can't make them.
But at the same time, you and I can say, and I can say from personal experience, not even to say anything about anybody else, that family is not always the ones who will wrap you up like you're supposed to.
That's true. It depends on what was because some family members of mine, I'm gonna have to think real hard.
Right, because some family members will do you in while they up on when they on top, they doing you in. And then, so by the time you trying to come around and be nice, you're like, oh no, remember them times?
The ones that actually love her, because family, they claim they love you.
Like, what's that? Her best friend? Who's the best friend that she used to always talk about? Like, I would think maybe she would come around. Like, from what I know, they was thick as thieves. But you know what? We don't know that she ain't around.
Right.
Because the way she treated Nene. When Nene called her,
Nene be wild.
She need to be treated exactly how she treated, because she old trifling person anyway.
I can understand if somebody kind of hit her.
But I'm just saying, if you my friend, like, okay, so we all have. Well, I don't say we all have friends but I don't know. It's just the way
I ain't even gonna do it, because Nene ain't even the person I'm gonna need to. No. All right, so just to go on to people who love you being around. This is a funny thing to me. So now we're going to talk about y'all's favorite girl with the knees.
Oh.
So apparently this past, Sunday, they were on a press tour for DC's Legend of, what is it called? DC's Legend of Pets, or DC's League of Super Pets.
Oh.
So it stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, my husband, and that little tiny guy, Kevin Hart. So
hey, wait, go ahead.
I was like, who is Dwayne?
Dwayne Johnson.
Look, remember Leo?
My husband on the
tiny
side.
guy. Remember at the club when I was like, when he was trying to give me a hug?
No, she was like, no, I want to hug him.
Belly. Go ahead.
No, don't. Yeah, so they were doing a press tour for the movie about the DC League of Super Pets, during which during the press tours, the question was asked he asked if you could be a pet to what celebrity, who would it be? Without hesitation, Dwayne said Meg Thee Stallion. And so they asked in response, "Oh, can you say why they'll be?" He said, "We don't have to talk about that." So there is no telling
in her.
Right. And so at this time, most people took it as, they thought it was funny because they're thinking, okay, Dwayne Johnson was like Megan Thee Stallion. But her wonderful boyfriend, Mr. Fontaine, decided to get on Twitter and make some comments about the interview. He said, "All our dogs are named after numbers. Just teach your wife to use seasoning and you be all right. Moana is the S though."
He mad.
Right. So then people was like, okay, are you serious? So, of course, Black Twitter being Black Twitter decided to make all these memes about, so now they want to basically let him know that that's not the person you want to mess with. He's just so much bigger than you are. And if you don't know who her boyfriend is, let me show a picture of them side by side.
It's about to be sad.
And I'll say,
I mean, he not attractive. He's
not, but he also little as I don't know what. So I feel like that big man. He's not that tall, and they were saying that's why everybody was laughing. They was like, "You had nothing to say when she got shot by homeboy, but you want to talk to the 6'6" man about all of you want to get smart with a person that's 6'6", and that's the thing. People don't understand. Like, Dwayne Johnson is huge. That man is large. So that's not the person you want to be messing with. Then he decided to delete the tweets and put another thing up because he got roasted, of course, by Black Twitter. And so Black Twitter came back when he said the comments started all our dogs' numbers and ended with Moana is my S. I deleted it yesterday because it seemed like people took it wrong, thought maybe my joke was in poor taste. Of all the things to be worried about, y'all think I'm mad at The Rock. Ha. So what do you think about that? I know what I have to say about why he did all that, but go ahead.
That's funny. First of all, let me tell you something. If it was good, at least it would have been disrespectful to The Rock, but at least if it was a good dig, we would have let it go. Probably would have rejoiced, but said you was wrong. It was whack. It made no sense. And then you put a little racist undertone thing on there, and we already done claimed Dwayne as one of ours a little bit. So it's like, why you trying to be funny?
A little bit, we claimed him.
And then it's like, yeah, we did. But it's like, and then put some seasoning, tell your wife to put some seasoning. Ain't she like Hawaiian too? They like seasoning. They ain't get big like that. What was she? She white?
She white.
Is he married?
Yes, he is, unfortunately.
Yeah. I've never seen his wife. But
it's like, first of all, he ain't getting that big, and ain't nobody putting no seasoning on no stuff. Okay, so it's but whatever. It was stupid and right. Why you ain't say nothing? Tory Lane been talking mad this whole time, and you been quiet. I didn't even know you existed, bro, until now. And yeah, what, pourquoi? Like, why? I don't know. It's just it's funny, and it's just like, homie, get better jokes. That's it. That's your fault. You should have got roasted because you tried to roast and it was bad.
Jametrice, what you think?
Well, I just looked up a picture of his wife, and not to judge.
I know he could have had me, but he could have had me.
Exactly, but he looked like her nose drip. You know how white folks, they nose, not even just white, but it's sometimes like pointy, and you ever seen them people when their nose look like it's dripping and it's all wet? Is it just me? But that's just.
I don't even know what to say to you when you say stuff like that.
That's just what I think.
Oh no, she wahite. Okay, I don't know.
I would say, I didn't even know.
Love is love. Love is love. I don't care.
I didn't know he was married, and you know how some people you wouldn't think
I did
marry. I thought he would be with a little spicy,
at least
some type of Caribbean,
at least a brunette, a dark hair brunette,
some little salsa or some little flavor. But hey, it is what it is. He like it, I love it, but I could see why he would say Megan Thee Stallion, because as big as he is, I think he thinks she a tall glass of water herself. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
What? I mean, because she got them knees. She you can just tell what he's envisioning. You know what I'm saying? I wish we could cut out her and put Megan.
She's pretty.
She got a nice smile, nice eyes. Her nose is pointy and it looks like a witch, and it's like it drips. You know, if a witch, they nose be dripping. I'm sorry. Some of the stuff I say probably don't make no sense, but it makes sense in my head. But
I swear sometimes I can't stand her. I swear she just be saying stuff.
I'm a fan of pictures for y'all. I mean, like they always, okay, whatever. But no, I gotta find it. I gotta see what's you.
So here's my take on it.
Go ahead.
You got offended because a man who looks nicer than you basically paid your girl a compliment. Basically said he would love to be in her presence and lay on her lap as her dog, and you was in your feelings, and so you tried to say something, but you weren't smart enough to do a good dig. So you did a dig about dogs having names at the numbers, which makes no sense whatsoever. Then you got to talk about Moana. What does that have to do with anything?
A movie, by the way. Okay.
Right. A movie that sold a lot of money, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So it meant nothing.
More than him.
And then when you got roasted Black Twitter, basically everybody saying he would drag you. Then all of a sudden you was like, wait a minute. He bigger than me. Let me go ahead and do some damage control and say, I was just joking. Why y'all worried about that? No, we wasn't worried about it. You was, because you felt the need to say something. So don't embarrass yourself because you felt the need to say something, but you wouldn't say nothing to Mr. Lanes when he was over here talking about your girl.
But not only that, Megan probably was like, look, I'll be working with these mugs. All right.
Oh, Megan, they brought it up to her as well.
Over here.
So they did bring it up to her.
My paper. Shut up.
He just scared that she gonna, like the fact that The Rock shows some interest.
Yeah.
She's scared that she gonna go because most women would.
Yes, we would. We would.
She work in those areas. She trying to climb up. She a definitely big top selling artist. It's like you out here trying to start some stuff with people, and I got to do damage control and stuff like that because you just in your feelings about stupid stuff, and it don't even make sense. So
and so she did actually comment because she was on a Sirius XM interview, and they actually played her the clip because she didn't know about the clip, and she actually laughed and was like, oh my God, I guess I'm famous now. So she was like, I've been watching him for wrestling since, I was a kid. And to get, for him, they noticed me. She's like, I must be basically, she was like, call me. so she basically like, I done made it now. So, I mean, she was actually happy and impressed. So to her boyfriend, you need to be worried. Sorry.
And I mean, she hot, she a celebrity, so I mean, come on, Nash. He ain't the only one that want her.
Right. It's like, but it was like misplaced.
That's a right to take this photo and Photoshop her in there.
We can say she a witch. If
I'm gonna go ahead and Photoshop her in there and see what them babies might look like. I'm gonna have to Photoshop that in there.
Oh, y'all.
I didn't know that was his wife. I mean,
I didn't know he had. I swear, I thought she was like dark hair. Wait, he was married before.
Because he was married before to Danny. That was his high school sweetheart, and they had the little the girl that's a wrestler now. His daughter's a wrestler for WWE.
She's that old?
Yeah, because remember when back in the day, I don't remember if y'all will remember this because it wasn't that great of a song.
See, that's who I'm thinking.
Y'all remember that song with Wyclef Jean? it doesn't matter. He was rapping when The Rock was rapping, and he was like, it doesn't matter. Oh, okay, I'm gonna post a clip in here when I post this. But that's back in the day when he did that. His daughter was little, because I remember them doing like something on the runway when she was tiny. So I remember, even so, I was like, oh my gosh, she old enough to be in WWE. Oh my God.
LB,
you feel
talking The Rock? You know a lot about his transition.
I do.
Time and space.
I do. Ever since he was wearing them panties on WWE.
I remember from The Rock.
The Rock is cooking.
I sure do. I do. I do.
I can't stand like the wrestling back then, because it was so phony and all that.
But my dad loved wrestling, so I used to watch wrestling. So I'm not gonna lie.
I watched it.
That's the man soap opera. It's a man soap opera, is what it is.
Exactly. It's so phony. I'm like, this is so
teenage boys, 7th grade, all them boys was into it. Even of WWE that he watched over and over and over and over again from back in the day and stuff, like he ain't seen it. They be into that stuff. It's like, okay.
Yeah, because WWE was just it. Let's be clear. I still watch WWE. Like, even in past college, my friends in Memphis and we used to go to Hooters and literally go to watch the Raw and SmackDown Raw. You go in there, and he would have his big old fake belt. My friend's husband, he used to have his big old fake belt. We used to go in there and go to Hooters, and people will pack out Hooters for Raw. It's just, wrestling is fun. I'm sorry. I love it.
It's a good time. You know what? I'm always down to go to a party that got a good time going. I ain't got to know what's going on. That's why I don't mind going to baseball games. That's why I don't mind going to football games. That's why I don't mind basketball games. It's a good time. I ain't got to understand it all the way. But I am going to talk sometimes. Like, that's what else.
So we go move this on. Speaking of talking stuff, have you guys heard this week the game decided to drop a 10-minute long diss track to Eminem called The Black Slim Shady? And I'm going to post a picture just so you can remember who the game is. And I say that because, listen, he ain't did nothing, so we really ain't paying attention to him right now anyway. So we might forget who he is. This is the game. But so he did a 10-minute long diss track called The Black Slim Shady. And it was released to very mixed reviews. Because some people complained about the length. They didn't understand why it was 10 minutes of nothingness. Some people thought it went hard. I didn't really care for it. I will tell you some of the lines that were in it that I didn't think were like, it was nothing to make me say, oh my God. He said, one of the lines was, I killed Dr. Dre in my basement last night. I was wasted last night. I went 8S last night. Chopped up his body and forget where I placed it last night. I just, that was a bit much. He jokes about how he lost his sense of taste and he grabbed Omarion and Dr. Fauci for a trip to a strip club. It was just random. I just then there's a part in there, he says, with the voice that defy rhymes will force the blind eye to see I was in the white Rolls Royce with 5 9s. When you was pretending to be the white Royce, the 5'9", I just crossed the fine line. Might just force the white guy to call D12 so he can be the pork they grind, swine. I'm the biggest rapper in Detroit. That award is Sean Don. It just, to me, it was not me. I didn't care for it. But so Ficky Slim Shady, please stand up. Shoot the fade with me. I love to. Put these hands up. I cut 40 Glock, you unarmed, drop the world on your head with one arm. These are the type of things he put in this 10-minute long diss track to Eminem, because he's stating that he is a doper MC than Eminem is. So I have my views about it, but other than that, I thought it was trash. But I will let you guys say anything that y'all would like to say about his very interesting 10-minute diss.
Who asked you for this, sir? It's like, was it
you still mad?
What happened? It's
something recently happened that we need to know about, like, very
What?
Say it again one more time, Jametrice.
Very like, why do we need this? This ain't for the culture, man.
It's like, and then 10 minutes. I feel like you assault my earballs with something that you need to get off your chest. And it's a few things that you want to tell him directly, but he ain't answering your calls. And
he was calling. He still want this respect or this brotherhood from these people that don't want to be bothered with you.
What happened? It's like,
and you gonna call out Slim Shady, slicker, Slim Shady? Like he gonna murder you.
I'm better than you and all of that. And it's like, that sounds like that was something that you want him to pick up the phone for. What's wrong?
Honestly, it's funny because apparently I don't know, it's like a video type of thing he put together too. And they said he tried to model it after Stan. You know how Stan was about the fan that loved him so much. And you know, in the song, Eminem mentions how my little brother loves you when he says Stan said. So they're supposed to be the little brother driving him like in an Uber or Lyft or something, and he's rapping this to him. He's like basically little brother saying, "Oh, you don't like Eminem no more either." I was like, "This, you took too much time to emulate something for somebody else." That mean, like you said, Kelly, it comes across like, I want y'all attention, but y'all won't talk to me. I'm just gonna say something, so you please talk to me. And so in my head, I was like, you may not like Eminem as a person, but let's be clear, that man has bars. So I feel like that is not the person that I want to start a rap beef with, because everybody who did it, it never ended in their favor. So I feel like that's not the person you want to be starting a beef with when it comes to your rhymes, because your rhymes ain't that great.
I like the game. Sorry, but I just
very lackluster.
I mean, and I have to listen to some of his old stuff, but I just keep this lifelong beef going, and that nobody's even, I don't know who's thinking about this other than him. And Eminem probably like woke up like, what is he talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Why? And they
he literally did.
I don't even think Eminem, hopefully he does not respond, because
he ain't.
Eminem probably like the game. Who?
Right. Boy, they don't, I mean, they don't talk to you no more. They don't, like, I mean, I guess, you know, because you just like you say, like you sit back and think about like how they, like, dang, these niggas really don't with me type of thing. I don't know. Like, it seems a little bit still like he still heard about it. I wouldn't be coming out with something. How many years?
But... Right, it's been some years. You coming out with a 10-minute long disc tape like you need a hug, sir.
It's like
I want to just give him a hug.
He did one of these things, where he was sitting around, he's smoking a little bit, and he was just like,
"You don't like me, man."
Little thoughts be coming back to your head.
Roll the tape, man. No, you should have kept it. Should have kept it.
Talking about
they really don't like me, man.
Move on, baby. We fall down.
She said but we gonna get up.
Right.
So no, I don't think anybody's checking for that. So this one is also very interesting. There was a recent on this past Thursday. Watch What Happens Live, which is, you know, the Andy Cohen show on Bravo. The guy who created the Real Housewives franchise. He was talking to, and I have to look her up, y'all, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't even watch Beverly Hills, but she's from
Hilton. The Hilton.
It's
wife.
Hillary something.
Hillary Hilton.
Hillary Hilton.
Wife.
So she made a comment. We're playing a game called "Do You Know Who This Is?" So I'm gonna show this video.
Lady.
Yes. I feel like I do. Precious?
No, that's not.
I don't know her.
That is Lizzo.
She is precious, though. Lizzo's precious.
That's like what I call her.
Lizzo is
her
precious.
Precious to me.
Yes. No, Lizzo is precious.
Okay.
So that was the clip of them showing that. That came out to mixed reviews. I will say what I have to say.
Wait,
but Miss Kelly B. Huh?
What does she say like before? Like, is what to her?
She's precious. Well, no, that was the other girl, and I can't think of who the other girl was. She was trying to like make it not. She was trying to try to like, oh no, Lizzo is precious. She wasn't saying like she looked like precious. She was trying to say she's good. She's like precious, like sweet. And she was like, well, she looks like precious to me, is what
To
the other one
me,
kept saying.
something like, okay.
So that wasn't Hillary. That was the other girl trying to make it all right because she was trying to go back.
That part. Yeah, because I was like,
So,
what did she say before that? I didn't hear that part. Okay.
Yeah. So Kelly B, since you started, what's your take on that?
Okay, so I got a couple things. It's gonna be kind of counter, but not. Okay, so I never heard her say what she said before, like what we just said, like was she like precious to me? I thought maybe when I just heard it now, maybe she said, oh, well, they all look like precious to me or something like that. Now that's the dig. Now before I heard that, I would have originally said, look, if she don't know who she is, she don't know who she is. Everybody ain't gonna know everybody who out there. There's plenty of people that's very popular that I don't know who it is because I just don't be checking for them. She a rich white lady that be in her country club having her martinis. Okay, they own the Hilton hotels. So it's like I could understand that. But then when she said the comment of where they all precious to me, it's like, okay, now what you saying? Is you saying, I don't know. But okay, so on the other end of it, I know for a fact Lizzo is into like that body positivity, which got hijacked by people who just believe that you just, whatever. But she into that thing where it's like beauty at every size and all of that stuff. So to me, it's like, what y'all mad for if Gabby's big is supposed to be just as beautiful as Liz is big? So if they got compared to each other, what you mad for? So what you trying to say? So it's like I'm on both ends. I'm like that with it. But I never heard the lady say that.
Okay, Jametrice.
Like she said, if you ain't know who she was, I mean, it's this whole stigma that sometimes white folks always try to say all black folks look alike. So maybe in her case, all fat black people look alike. You know what I mean? So, Precious, even though that's not really her name,
right?
See, the laughter comes from the movie. Precious wasn't aesthetically beautiful. She was very heavy, sweating, running down the street with a bucket of chicken, so it wasn't a good image at all. You know what I mean? So it's like the laughter comes from like, oh my God. Cause like if you fat and black and somebody said, girl, that's why you look like Precious, because I did hear people like, black people used to joke like that and call the fat people like, she look like Precious. She look like Precious. And it's a running joke because when you look at Precious, it's like you're judging and you're talking about it. It's not a good image. So to put that on Lizzo, you're basically, by you're not knowing her. So you basically saying, oh, I don't know who Lizzo is, because if you knew who Lizzo is, you wouldn't associate her with Precious, because Precious is a fictional character for one that y'all basically then gave Gabby. That's just who she is. All she gonna look like to y'all is Precious. She ain't gonna never look like no other character she played. She gonna always be Precious.
I'm guilty.
If you didn't know, you didn't know. But she had to see the movie Precious. So to look at her and look at that, I think you just trying to had that running joke.
Well, she maybe didn't have to see Precious. Precious, people who didn't see Precious knew of the picture of Gabby Sidibe because of Precious. And so they may have not even seen it. Although I would say it was an Academy Award nominated movie. So, she could have seen it.
And then also, like I said, she a rich white woman. Okay. They eat crackers for like lunch. Then that's for the whole day and stuff. So it's like, it could be one of them things where it's like,
that's what I'm saying. So it seems like
that's why I didn't hear that part. It's like,
and then to laugh, and then it's kind of it sucks because if I was Gabby Sidibe and y'all, I'm still like a running joke. So y'all just, you heard all that laughter in the background. You seen Andy Cohen like had his face. He like, oh my gosh, like this is so funny.
He knew the shade. He knew the trees she was throwing.
But see, here's the thing about it. The thing that irritated me, and it was because not only is she basically saying that all Black people look alike, and that is one thing that irritates my nerves. To me, Lizzo and Gabby Sidibe look nothing alike. Mm-hmm. So to me, I don't know if I'm taking it as a because I don't know her. Like I said, Beverly Hills is not the best franchise of a Real Housewife, so we ain't watching that anyway. So I don't know who she is anyway to begin with. So for her to be saying all this, I don't know if that's her personality, if that was a dig or not. But what was the offensive part was, well, she looked like Precious, and that was the offensive part. The other offensive part was for me. Andy Cohen has these moments where you kind of just want to punch him in the face.
He be starting shit.
Andy Cohen has these moments where you kind of just want to punch him. Do that because of the fact that you took your cards and you're laughing behind the cards. But Gabby Sidibe has been on your show. She's been on Watch What Happens Live. And so it's almost offensive that you thought that was funny to hide your face behind the cards when this is a person that you've had on your show. Oh, when she was on Empire and it was important to you at the time and you wanted the ratings. Oh, I'm going to put you on my show. But now when somebody makes a joke about you. So that's the thing. It's like you feel like Jametrice said, you feel bad for Gabby because they're using her like as the punchline of the joke. And I understand that Black people, we used to say it all the time. Oh, with your precious looking self. Like we would say type of stuff like that. We did. But I think it also comes from a different place that when you get that from a white person, when they say they feel like you look like somebody and they think it's just because you're Black and you're big versus whatever else. Because the whole running thing of Precious was that, like Jametrice said, the whole point of the movie was supposed to be that she was this big girl that was not aesthetically pleasing. And so now basically you're telling Lizzo that she's a big girl that's not aesthetically pleasing. And I've said it before, Lizzo is crazy and does things that have no sense in public, but she's actually a really pretty woman. She just does outrageous and outlandish stuff for no reason, but she's still pretty. So it's like, are you trying to say that you thought that way because you honestly think they look alike, or are you doing it because you thought that she was not attractive and she was big?
And that's not act like y'all ain't got no fat white woman in the industries. You know what I'm saying? That they may have lost some weight now.
Oh, they treat them terribly too. Wow. They be like, it's classes if you don't look a certain way.
Yeah, because that girl from This Is Us, she used to have a hard time. Because that girl, you know what I'm talking about, the one from This Is the Us, the sister? Mm-hmm. They used to talk about how she couldn't get jobs, and she said she was so depressed because it was always about, everything was always about her weight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then what's that one that used to act like she liked being big, and now she look all different? The one from, yes, her, who she's lost so much weight. So it's like, in general, you know, Hollywood is very, very particular. You have to fit in that box. There's not a place for you outside that box.
Yeah. And it's like, kudos to anybody who do stuff like that. Kudos to anybody who put themselves out there and do that stuff, because you will be judged. And it's like when you are on TV and stuff like that, you just gotta know people gonna come for you.
And then too, first of all, I gotta look up that woman what's her name again?
Which one?
Hilton.
You said who, Hilton?
What, Hillary?
The one that said it?
Yeah,
Hillary Hilton.
Yeah.
First of all, from what
that's Paris Hilton and Nikki Hilton's mother.
Oh, that's who she is?
Yeah, they own all the Hilton.
Well, look at your daughter. Like, Paris Hilton is not a very attractive person. She looks like a whole alien. Her head is so big and her body so skinny. She's like a whole lollipop alien. I don't think so. That's not
like, that be coming with, and that's why I say it was just dismissive of her. She was just being like, it was one of those things like, Precious.
They barely got any
pictures. It's like, oh, well, they all look like Precious to me. And then
they
the one girl like, oh, but she's like, oh no, she's very.
Wait, no, is her name Kathy Hilton?
Maybe. Oh yeah, is it Kathy? Yeah.
Oh, because I'm like, they ain't got no pictures with her.
Let me find this thing. I don't know the lady name. Like I told you, I don't watch it.
Because this is what I have a problem with too, about people that, I mean, in a sense, we're all supposed to believe we're beautiful, but there's some people out here that just think they top notch. You look good, and from what I just seen,
she like a bird.
Girl, you're.
She do.
She's not a bird. A whole bird. Not a half, but a whole
bird.
And I don't know what you look like in the past. But
A
right
bird,
now,
a younger bird, probably a chick.
right now you look botched. And I don't know, some of them, for real, like this plastic surgery that she's had, she looks very botched. Like, y'all need to find whoever did Kylie. Because whoever turned Kylie, they turned her to a whole
Let me tell you something. That was some
different
good
woman.
work.
And
Okay. She
you
got
know
some
what I
good
mean?
work.
Yeah,
All of them got some pretty good work.
Like,
we working on it.
y'all been in the industry all these years, and whoever Kylie doctor was, y'all couldn't get that person. But you're very botched, and you look very old, like you smoke a lot of cigarettes. So to tell somebody that they look like
probably do. She probably right here chain smoking like a.
She look low key like, don't she? I'm sorry, y'all, but she do low key.
Look like who?
Caitlyn Jenner.
I'm
Somebody
sorry.
should do a thing and say, put up Caitlyn Jenner.
A little bit. I mean, like a cuter
you.
version. Don't get me wrong, a cuter version, but it's along them lines.
Listen, can you be a cuter version of
Yeah, he definitely could do some improvements.
Cause he oh wait, not okay, let me see. The reason I say can you be a cute, what I mean by can you be a cuter version? Because like he is in no way like an attractive woman.
I mean, there's room.
If you look close,
oh well, she's not an attractive woman, put it like that.
There's room for improvement, so definitely can have a cuter version.
If you look
okay, so we'll correct ourselves. Her name is Kathy Hilton. Her name is Kathy, my bad.
If you look closely at her eyes and her mouth, she looked like she done had Bell palsy. Well, one side
this girl be giving everybody some type of medical condition. She like she had Bell palsy.
You know, one side of the face, because one of my eyes used to do that, like
I think mine do that, so I ain't gonna talk crazy. That's what we had to do.
I think one of my eyes used to, like, sometimes when I used to smile in pictures, one of them used to look kind of big, but that's what she looked like.
But no, it's
looking like Uncle Ruckus.
And her mouth is all like.
I started thinking about Marilyn Monroe. That's why she always did this when she would pose. And if you look at some of her other pictures, once she started not caring, one of her eyes was like a little bit like that. So that's why she always used to do this.
But Marilyn Monroe still look better than your boy.
Oh, she do. Oh yes.
Your boy dressed like Marilyn Monroe, so we ain't gonna go there. Wow. Oh gosh. So I don't know if that's just like the privilege in her coming out. You know how privileged people say ridiculous things just because they can. And so that may very well be an example of a privileged person talking just to be talking.
Yeah.
Speaking of privileged people, did you guys hear that this past week, Brittany was sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison? We did talk about her previously, so we're not going to go to a full breakdown of what happened. But she was sentenced to 9 years in prison for smuggling and the drug paraphernalia. And of course, all the races came out to play. And so one of the biggest races I think there ever is to me is, what's her name? Tomi Lahren or Lauren, however you pronounce her name, had a comment to make. This is one of the comments that she made. Because, you know, Brittany, just to give a background to this, Brittany was one of the athletes, when Colin started taking a knee. She was one of the athletes that, praised him for, and she was also one of the athletes that pretty much said that she didn't think that the national anthem should be played at games because she said, unless we're playing like at the Olympics where it's like a U.S. versus everybody else, what is the purpose of actually playing the anthem at the games? Because technically we're all American. It wasn't really necessary to be playing it at the games. A lot of people don't disagree with this, but because she said that, all the races, and because she got sentenced, all the races came out to play and had their comments to say about her being sentenced. Like I said, Tomi Lahren, which was one of the biggest races, came out and said, on the bright side, Griner won't have to endure the national anthem for 9 whole years. What a win for her. Disrespectful. And these are some of the comments you get. So happy Brittany Griner moved to a place where she doesn't have to worry about hearing that nasty American anthem anymore. We had other people saying stuff like this. Brittany Griner getting 9 years in prison is the perfect reminder to all Americans why it's important not to take for granted what we have in this country. I'm pretty sure her opinion of our anthem and flag has changed. Mind you, this is a black man. I just want to put that out there. That said that. What'd you say?
Coonan, Miles Kumador.
Yeah,
that's what it's supposed to say.
Right. Do you know Brittany Griner still hates the national anthem? I'd like some of this stuff was so ridiculous. I wonder if Brittany Griner stands to take a knee for the Russian national anthem every morning in her jail cell. It was just like, it got kind of disrespectful. And the thing about it that irritated me the most, I think, on this particular situation is people kept trying to equate the fact with she didn't believe in it being played with. That means that she hates America. Just because you don't want to hear the national anthem or you take a knee at the national anthem, that does not mean you hate of America. Let's be clear. And they're probably going to hate me when I say this. I haven't stood for the national anthem since I was in junior high. So Colin Kaepernick was not first. I have not stood for the national anthem since I was in junior high because I learned a long time ago how the national anthem made no sense to me. And so because of that, I guess I hate it. I hate it too. Is that what you're going to tell me? But no, you have a right to make your stand whatever you want. That is the freedom of this country. You're supposed to have the right to your own opinion. So what do you ladies think about this?
White folks want to protect this darn national anthem with like their blood or something. You know, y'all, this is the only thing y'all stand for in America is the national anthem. Like, no pun intended, but like y'all don't stand for anything else. Y'all don't care about the injustice in the world. The only thing y'all really want to speak about is when somebody is not standing up for the national anthem, or they, you know what I mean, or they don't believe in the national anthem. We, from what they're saying in those words, we don't believe in that. So why do we have to stand up for something that it's not living by, you know? And then too, to make fun of somebody like, oh, just because, so this just showing you how evil people is, because just because I don't believe in the national anthem, I should get 9 years in prison and I should be, and then too, y'all, all the stuff that y'all have done. It's just, they, don't have no real morals about anything. Y'all want to protect this freaking flag, and the flag is built on a lie, regardless if we're here or not. You know what I'm saying?
And mind you, let me just really quick say this. This was the statement she gave about it. She said, "I don't mean that in any disrespect to our country. My dad was in Vietnam and a law enforcement officer for 30 years. I wanted to be a cop before playing basketball. I do have pride in my country." She was just saying basically that I just don't think that we should play the national anthem during our season, is what she stated.
And people are entitled to their own opinion. Like, why can't we have our own opinion about certain things? I mean, you're going to get judged and scrutinized either way, but I can feel the way I want to feel. Doesn't mean that I should get 9 years behind bars in a foreign country. Now, granted, it does like bring awareness to people that don't know different laws to not travel with certain things, and to look up what is, because the fact that they didn't just threw the book at her and, and who knows if she's going to ever get out. I know I've been hearing talks that she.
So I will say this. They did confirm 16 hours ago, because, Russia wasn't saying anything at all.
Okay.
But Russia did confirm 16 hours ago, according to the Associated Press, that they are in talks for a negotiation for a swap for her with another prisoner. And this is the same prisoner that we talked about last time. Huh?
They want that killer. That
yeah. And so they are not telling us what the prisoners are, but the Associated Press is reporting that it's probably the prisoner that we were talking about on here before, Victor Bout, and her with Whelan. So it'll be the two of them for him. Mm-hmm. But they won't confirm or deny. Yeah. Because he's just that bad. He need to be where he at.
And then I did Trump say something like, well, why should we basically give, somebody look up what, I believe he said that. He said, why should we basically get her and give them up?
Go ahead. Y'all say, I'll look it up, but you can finish
For me, it's
Kelly.
the fact that this girl only went over there, a woman, went over there, had 0.7 grams, 0.7 grams, not even grams, was it even grams of hash oil. This other white woman around the same time just got sentenced to how many months? 2 months for having 17 grams. And the response that Republicans give about her sentence, like, oh, now, oh, she don't have to hear the national anthem or whatever. I am so sick. Not even sick. You know what? I'm not even surprised. There is a thing in this country, what some white people do is, I'll need you to forget, you brown person, that I always know that's a brown person, even though I like to say I don't see color. Okay, you brown person, I need you to forget that you're a brown person, even though I know you're a brown person, because I'm going to treat you like you're a brown person, that you had a history, that that there is a history of pain and trauma that is behind this country here. Because I need, for my own peace of mind, I need you to forget that happened, because I need you to come and get in this cohesive circle where we stand kumbaya and we believe this BS that is the U.S.
So let me cut you off, Kelly, really quick. Sorry. Just for you can add this to your response. So Jametrice, in response to you, so what he did say was, we're supposed to get her out of supposed to get out for an absolute killer, one of the biggest arms dealers in the world, killed many Americans, killed many people, and he's going to get a free card, and we're just going to get her out because he described her as being loaded up with drugs, so we shouldn't swap her.
See, loaded up with drugs. You worry about your FBI raid that's going on right now. I think you got other problems, sir. Okay, so criminals can't be talking nothing about criminals. Okay, hush.
And I think it sucks that
all of it 17.7 grams, 0.7.
Right. I think it sucks that we are in a situation where we do have their prisoners and they have committed these heinous crimes versus Brittany, who hasn't committed a heinous crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the fact that we have to negotiate people, and it's a potential hazard that if we let these men go back to Russia, that they're gonna come back over here and kill back some Americans.
No. We're letting one of theirs go. They're gonna give us two.
But what makes me think this was calculated to begin with, because it's like she has this minor thing. They asked for at the time where they fighting with Ukraine and they trying to get all they trying to do their little campaign. I want the arms dealer that y'all got over here, and I'm gonna hold her head. I'm gonna give her the maximum 9 years. Oh, I forgot also, it's also a teacher that's over there. He got 14 years for bringing a minor. Yeah, he got 14 years over there. So the wife of him was like, since y'all trading her, see if y'all can get my husband too.
So they want to give Wheeler back, which is the military guy that got supposedly sentenced for being a spy. So they supposedly saying that it'll be Wheeler and Griner for bout.
Because y'all want to go use them to go fight with Ukraine for no reason.
Of course.
But it's like, I'm not surprised that some rich white man that don't give a damn about us, that think we the issue, even though they absolute leeches on this damn earth, think that everybody else is the problem, don't care about another Negro that got locked up and got the nerve to be loud about it. It's like, I'm not surprised. Since Donald Trump came along, since this whole thing came along, people just been letting out stuff that's always been there. All of us done experienced these microaggressions since we was little, especially from people who are of the clear version. And you know what? Shades in between, let's be clear. So it's like, it don't surprise me. And that's why it cracks me up how they still want Black people, or want people who get, those who have those issues, they have issues with our country and with the way we run things, about saying something about it. I don't know. It's just,
and then this is why it didn't need, it's unfortunate that this is happening to her, because it's like you can't give people a reason to do anything, you know? And it's like, I don't even know, they said, was that medically for her, that she needed that medically?
Yeah, she got it prescribed for her pain that she was having.
Yeah, doctor's prescription. But yeah.
Really,
and it was like a little. It was vape pens. It was like a little bit of oil. I don't even think it was full.
But it's like traveling to these other countries.
And thing is, I get that traveling to the other countries, you need to know the laws of what you can take in, but I don't think that it's fair for the racists to come out to play and use that as a defense for her not wanting to stand for an anthem or have it played. Oh yeah, that was why you were convicted, because you're not American. That doesn't even make sense to me. It's not a valid reason at all.
But these the same people that turn around and say, oh, well, you know, I don't think it's a big deal that cop killed that Negro, because, you know.
Oh yeah, because people like Tommy Lahren, she's just not even worth the time.
Gonna be equating no way with them. So it's all racially motivated, because if it was somebody else, they ain't got nothing to say. It's plenty of white people that stand up and talk mess. Speaking of Eminem, he did a whole little cipher thing talking mess about the president, and the president said, I have no problem with him. It's the color. Okay, the color of the context for them. It's like I ain't shocked. I'm not shocked, and this is also a disclaimer, not to say all white people, because I got some good white friends, good white friends.
That's why I said I just the thing that irritates me, like I said, is you got the time to be trying to say, oh, that's why she got sentenced, because you know she didn't want to stand for the anthem. First, don't know nothing about her standing for the anthem. They don't care about her standing for the anthem. They really could care two craps left. They trying to get their person back, and they knew this was the way to do it. So it's neither here nor there about this whole situation.
I don't care nothing about I don't care nothing about rich people wars and stuff like that, because I just don't. At the end of the day, it's gonna be y'all that suffer. People, it's the rich man's war. They send poor people to do that, and I'm glad less people join the army, less people sitting up there trying to buying into that mess that make you say, let me go fight in some stuff that ain't got nothing to do with me and I ain't gonna have no payoff for it. I also have many veterans in my families and they ain't got nothing to show for it.
But that's the sad part right there. When all the people,
it's like, please, America, y'all stand up for America. Y'all want to do all this stuff for America only just to push your own narrative, just to make people fall in line and do what you think they should do, what represents your idea of America. So who cares? I just ignore them, because to me it's like it's evolving and it's changing whether you want it to or not. I think, don't get me wrong, I think we need to get in more spaces where we start to push the needle more like on the law side of things. But it's gonna be, if stuff keep going this way, it's gonna be one of them things where we're a young country. We ain't went through like the wars and the genocides and all of that. I mean, to the point of other countries, they've been around for thousands of years. We still got some stuff to go through, and we had that little tight reign up to like the 60s, and then the 70s came out where people started being like, "No, I don't want to do this thing where it's like I'm being controlled." Stuff gonna boil over. I don't know how it is, but it just is, and it's just a part of life. It's gonna do it. So I'm just sitting back and waiting. Hopefully, I'm playing for it.
Oh gosh, it's irritating. I was actually just trying to confirm exactly how much was in her luggage when she was at the airport, because they said before she left, she purchased 2 cartridges that had 0.25 grams, which was a total of 0.45. So they're not actually putting on here exactly how much was left. So it had to be less than that for her to come back with it.
I think I remember it was like 0.75 milliliters, but something like that. It was like 0.7, but the for that type, from that point, I think you had to get like 6 grams in order to even be considered for 4 years or more. Usually people who had under 6 grams would get like a fine and probably like probation or something.
Oh yeah, it was 0.70 grams.
Mm-hmm. So she getting excessive time just because she is who she is.
No, it's because they want their prisoner back. They about to get them too. Yeah, like, we got a whole war going on over here. We need some help. Like Jametrice said, we need some help. So I'm sorry. I'm hopeful that she gets home. It's unfortunate that we have to give up such a dangerous person for her to get home, because she was wrongly accused. And you little racist people, y'all can have fun doing something else because at this time,
miserable and bulimic and all of that anyway. I'm probably
right. So I just hope she gets home. Prayers to her and her family. So I don't know if you ladies saw this past, what was it, August the 9th, I think is when it happened. A Black woman was arrested in ATL in a park. There has been mixed reviews about her arrest. So I will play the video. I tried to cut it down as much as I possible because the whole video was the officer's body cam and it was long. And so we're going to cut it down as much as possible to get it in here for you to get the basics of what happened.
I'm not sure if y'all from here or not, but you can't be inside the park in the city of Atlanta between the hours 11 p.m. 6 a.m.
Okay.
You got your IDs on you? You have your IDs on you?
Yes.
I'm going to need them.
Now, I don't know if you guys heard at the beginning, he told them, I don't know if you guys know this or not, because I see you have Ohio tags, but you can't be in Atlanta parks after dark.
You have your ID now? All right, just stand by. I'll be right back with you. Simple ticket stating that you was in the park after hours. All right, leave the sign right on the X.
What am I signing over? Is it a charge or anything, or is it
just a ticket?
And I have to sign it?
All right. You can not sign it and go to jail. It's this one here. This one here. Yes, sir. All right, that's your license. Copy of citation. You have any questions?
That's what it is.
Right. Come over here for me, ma'am. Can you come here, ma'am? All right, so you're going to receive a ticket for being in the park after hours. All right? Just need to sign right here on the X.
But because we're out of, didn't you say we were out of time so we wouldn't have known that?
Yeah, but that's not a valid reason why you should be in the park because you're from out of town.
And what's your badge number?
7452.
And what's your name?
Officer Brooks.
What's your first name?
I'm not going to give you my first name.
Okay, and I don't have to sign this, right?
You do have to sign it.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, like I explained to him, if you don't sign it, then you're going to be physically taken to jail.
Gotcha.
So you refusing to sign?
What's your name?
Officer Brooks, 7452.
What's the badge number?
I gave it to you 2 times, man.
Okay, I'm asking again.
And I'm not giving it to you again.
Okay.
Are you going to sign it?
No, because I want your badge number.
That's fine. You want to put your hands behind your back for me?
No, she got.
Hey, listen, my man. She said she's not signing it. Put your hands behind your back.
Sir,
Ma'am.
you're hurting me.
Okay. I'm actually put your hands behind your back.
Sir.
Put your hands behind your back. Stop me,
Sir.
Ma'am, put your hand behind your back.
Come on.
I need you to back up.
I'm just saying, like,
I need you to back up.
You don't need to touch her like that.
She's not putting her hands behind her back.
I'm asking a question.
Okay.
I'm just all I'm doing is
put your
asking
hands behind your back. Put your hands behind
Mr.
your
Brooks.
You're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. I asked you to sign the ticket. You told me you're not signing it.
Sir,
Put your hands behind
I'm
your back.
asking you a question.
Okay? I'm letting you know. I'm not going to ask you again. I'm going to forcibly put your hands behind your back.
But, sir, Mr. Brooks, is this really necessary? Mr. Brooks.
Hold on.
Hey, listen, my
She
man.
needs to
Back
put.
up.
She needs to put her. Let her
Can I?
put her phone. Let her
Okay, you
put
can
her
put your phone down.
Okay,
Let her put
Mr.
it. She's not
Brooks.
giving her a chance to. Come on, sir. Hold on.
Put your hands behind your back.
Refusing to sign the ticket. I'm going to
No,
sign the ticket.
you don't have an option now.
I'm going to sign the ticket.
No, I'm not here to play games with you.
I know, but I'm going to sign.
Put your hands behind your back.
Mr. Brooks, I'm going to sign.
Put your hands behind your back. You're not signing.
I'm going to sign the ticket now, Mr. Brooks. I'm going
You
to
don't
sign
have
the
that
ticket.
So I'm
option.
going to actually stop it
Why
right
don't I have the
there.
option, Mr. Brooks?
From that point forward, what ends up happening is it ends up getting very aggressive. And what happens is he ends up calling back up, pulls out a taser. He doesn't actually end up tasing her because the boyfriend is like, "Why are you have a taser? You don't have to taser because she's resisting arrest." And so he calls back up. They aggressively pretty much throws this girl to the ground. They have her arms all kind of twisted behind her in weird ways. And there has been mixed reviews about the manner of all of this happening. There's some on the side saying that she should have just let him arrest her and get over it and just figure it out later. And then some are saying that he really have to do all that when he could tell that they didn't know they weren't supposed to be in the park at night. So I'm going to let you ladies determine. Jametrice, what is your view? Are you on one side or the other that she should have either taken the ticket or he shouldn't have been the police officer didn't have to be that aggressive?
I don't think he should have had to be that aggressive, especially after. I mean, because some people, it's kind of crazy when it comes to the law. It's like, if I don't agree to sign this certificate, because I've been in situations where I didn't agree about the traffic stop, but I was told that if I didn't sign the ticket, that some places they could arrest you. You know what I mean? If you don't comply with signing the ticket. So of course I went and signed the ticket but at least they gave me the option to double back and say, okay, I'll sign right now because I'm not trying to go to jail for not signing the ticket, something I don't agree with. From where I'm from, you can't be in parks at night. So, and then it's like, because they expect like even she's with her gas. So they think you probably doing something in the park or whatever the case may be. So that's a legit reason, but I don't think he should have been that aggressive. I had a situation where Thanksgiving, when Good Richard Trying came out, I took both of my friends to movie theaters. We were the only one in the movie theater, and they actually was the ones kind of not loud, but they were more laughing, especially when the part when 50 dropped the soap. And this, I thought it was a security guard, or I thought it was like a random man that was just happened to be in the movie theater. But for some reason, he was saying, be quiet, but he thought I was the one talking. And even though my friends was like, no, that wasn't her. He just literally got up and started pulling me out of the movie theater. He was so aggressive, and I'm like, man, get your hands off me and stuff like that. And I think he tried to spit on me. I don't even know what. It was just so chaotic and so crazy that come to find out, I ended up with a trespassing thing that I had to get cleared off my record because he turned out to be like an off-duty cop.
I feel like.
So let me say this also. When they called the additional officers over, he was going to give her the ticket, of course, for not signing for being in the park. And then it's so funny. I didn't put that part in there. All these officers kept saying to him, so what you going to hit her with? You going to add a obstruction of justice in there? And he's like, yeah, I could add that. So it got worse because they basically were trying to give him extra charges to add to the girl.
Exactly. Okay.
So
go ahead. But I was like, sorry, I had a little interference. But yeah, I think it gets very stupid at a certain point because it's almost like they have to have a reason to do something, because it could have just been as simple as just because she didn't know the law, or know that she was supposed to be in a park, and then that she didn't want to sign it. But now that I know I'm about to go to jail, okay, I'm gonna just sign it. But she was very calm and she wasn't resisting. She just I don't think you should have to do all that because I'm willing to sign it. So why couldn't it just been as simple as let her sign the ticket and both parties go they separate ways? But go, Kelly.
No, I feel like, on Reddit when they got am I the idiot? for a certain situation. They got not you're not the idiot, you're the idiot, everyone's the idiot, everybody the idiot here. I tell you why. So from get-go, homeboy cop was on one. Because he saw they were in Ohio. They had Ohio plates. He noted that. He know they don't know the laws in Atlanta. He could have just been like, all right, this is a warning, go on about your business. But no. Gave him a ticket. Not only did he give one person a ticket, he gave both of them a ticket. Why not give the driver the ticket and call it a day? So then okay, he signed a ticket when he told him what the parameters was. If you don't sign the ticket, all right, fine, you want one, but you know what? I live to write another day. Oh, girl, he say, okay, you sign the ticket. I don't have to sign that. Told her the parameters. At that point, she made her decision. And then, what's your badge number? Asking him about 3 times. Honestly, she was getting on my nerves asking. Because you heard I said the third time, like he said 954. Damn. But because she thought that he would back down from it. It was the power play then. And then it's like you gonna call the people. Just sign the ticket and go about that. So then when he said put your hand behind it, no, I was just asking a question. No, you weren't. You weren't. It's like, while it's unjust, while I feel like he was being extra, you also was doing a little extra. If you kind of just did that, live to fight another day, if you wanted to take it to court and be like, look, you see the body cam, you see what he was doing, yada, yada, yada. But you also escalated it. So that's why I feel like, and then I've heard that Atlanta, they do things like boot your car and don't have clear parking zones and things like that, so they can purposely get money. Allegedly, this is what I heard. So they can get money into the city. They got a lot of crooked dealings. So that's why, of course, I believe when you said that the officers was like, oh, well, what else you gonna hit her with? Well, what else you gonna hit her with? If you gonna give her a ticket? Because you take her to jail, y'all ain't gonna get no money up off of that. Maybe a little bit of something, but that ticket they have to pay to the court, which comes to y'all budget. So it's a whole scam that they be having working there. So I think in that thing, everybody was the idiot. It's things that he was on one from get-go, but unfortunately he is in the position of power in that moment. And honestly, even though it was unfair, I don't think he should have gave them both tickets. He sign it and go, and he could have just let it go. It was at his discretion whether he was to give them or not, but because he decided offer, but it was his right. And I looked it up, they can arrest you if you don't do it, and it's in his discretion, and he exercised that, and you was doing a lot. And then it's like, now, oh, I just want to talk. No, it's like, don't get me wrong, like I said, many things can be true at the same time. They all on one.
So I was a mixed view about it. Now I did agree with you, Kelly. I was like, okay, the driver has the keys to the car. They are in one car. Why would you give them both a ticket? You would give the one person a ticket. You didn't need to give both of them a ticket, but maybe he's trying to officer, what he say his name was? Officer, well, he was just trying to increase his quota for the month. He needed to reach his quota. And he was going to reach his quota by giving them both a ticket. Because honestly, why would you need to give 2 tickets? You had one ticket already given for the person who was driving the car. That would have been sufficient to me.
Never heard of that.
So I've never heard them giving a person. That's part of the problem.
I think for them being in the park.
Yeah, but even then, I've never heard of an officer giving both of them. You get a person who drove it.
And I think that's where it went wrong, because if you had seen the very, very beginning, you paid attention to it, when he said, do you guys have your ID? She's the one who said yes. And so when he asked for the ID, she never moved to get hers. I'm thinking she's thinking what I'm thinking. He's driving, so he's getting the ticket. So that's why he said to her, I need your ID too, ma'am. And she looked kind of weird because she's like, why are you asking about it? Because she was looking like I'm looking like, oh, I thought you were giving him
the ticket is for them both violating the park.
No, I get that. I get that. But most people would think
usually
didn't have to give. Right. Let's be honest. I'm from Arkansas. I don't really know of the law saying you couldn't be in the parks at night. Now, I have been caught in the park at night, and we've never gotten a ticket. They just say, hey, go ahead and get out the park. And that was it.
I didn't even get that. It was, we was doing like things.
I know.
Doing, and he was like, everybody over 18 was like, yeah. He was like, everything consensual. Yeah. Have a good time. Bye.
Yeah, so no, mine was like, y'all should go ahead and go home, get out the park. And I said, okay, cool. And so that was the thing. So it wasn't even a ticket situation. He basically just said, go ahead and go home, and that's it. But so it's kind of, if you're not from there, you wouldn't expect someone to get a ticket for that. And to be honest, some people don't understand signing for a ticket. Like a lot of people think when you're signing for a ticket, that means that I agree with what this ticket is.
Yeah, that's true.
So he should have actually just explained, hey, signing for the ticket means you will have received this physically from me. That's all it means.
Right?
And he did not. Yes, but he did not. And so the thing is, I understand people saying, oh, she should have just let him arrest her and just fight it in court and live another day. But at the same time, when she first asked him for his name and badge number, she was actually walking away. She wasn't even looking at him. She was walking away. So I think she asked for it, but she wasn't paying attention to him.
She was bluffing. She was doing the
no. When the first time she asked for it, she walked back to the car to get her phone. So she didn't even have the phone. So the first time she asked, she said, what's your badge number? And she walked off before he finished to go get her phone. Then she came back and said, okay, what's your badge number? And that's why he seemed irritable. But I was like, but you understand she asked you for it.
She asked two more times.
No. So the second time on the second time he got irritated. I was, because I watched the thing like 3 times. He got irritated on the second time. I was like, but you understand she asked you for it, but she wasn't even prepared to write it down. She had nothing to write it down with. So she asked for it, and I think she probably was still opening up whatever she was gonna write it in. And then she asked that third time. He was like, I already gave it to you twice. And I don't think he understood that she probably wasn't even writing them first 2 times, because probably in her head like, this MF really finna give me a ticket, and she wasn't listening. So she pissed off. You know how you be when you're mad, you ask a question, you're like, now what you say? Because you're mad. And so I think that's where she was with it. She was mad. She really wasn't paying attention. So by the time she really wanted to write it down, he's already irritable because you've asked him 3 times and he wouldn't give it. So the thing was, he literally said, are you going to sign the ticket? If you don't, you'll get arrested. He said, are you going to sign it? She said, no, because I want the badge number. So that could have been alleviated by him just saying, here's the badge number. Now sign the ticket.
Or be like, my badge number is on the top of the ticket. It's supposed to be, ain't it?
Typically, yeah. So there's ways around it. So I mean, I understand what she's saying. I'm not resisting. She technically was, but I don't think it should have gotten escalated as much as it. To me, it's gonna sound so mean. When I watched this video for the first time, I said to myself, he's really giving me little dick energy.
And from get go, but after the badge thing, I was feeling bad because I don't know if you heard me. I think because to me, I heard her ask him 3 times, and the 4th time he was like, "I'm not giving it to you." Because the 4th time I was like, "He said 954, girl."
No, because he asked her. She asked him 3 times. She asked him on the way to the car. She asked him when she came back, and then she asked him again. So she asked him 3 times. That's why he said, "I told you twice already." And so the thing is, he was just, to me, giving me little dick energy. That meant that he was one of them people you could tell, I'm going to give you my power. Even though y'all say I ain't got nothing to work with, I'm going to show you I'm working with something. So I'm going to make it into all this. Because when the police officers came, she looked red because, she was a little bit lighter of a person. When they had her down on the ground, you saw her get up and go to the car. She was red, and she kept saying, my back hurts, my arms hurt, because they twisted her arms back around her because she kept saying, I just want you to know. And the thing that irritated me, because I was kept saying, I said, I understand she didn't want to sign, because I probably wouldn't have signed either. But at the same time, that ticket would have immediately got dropped if she went to court, because that man never Mirandized her. He never said you had the right to, in that whole 20-minute long thing, he never said you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be
under arrest for doing yada 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 yada.
He never gave her charges, and I was like, she could have got that thrown right on out. She probably still will get thrown out. But people were like, oh, well, she's the cause of this problem. So I don't know why anybody feels sorry for her.
I think everybody is. Everybody could have done better. Everybody could have done better.
Right, because even the time when he tried to tell her to get into the car, she's cuffed, her arms are hurting, and he's talking about.
Just because I don't think so many times people play victim. I'm sorry. And I need to say, she ain't a victim in some way. Like I say, it's a scale of where ain't nobody all the way in the right in this.
Yeah, they all
feel about it. But it's like that thing. It's like, wait, you're hurting me. Yeah, no shit. Put you under arrest, girl, and you moving and you done do this. It's like, come on now. We know you playing it up a little bit.
Listen. I might need to play the end of the video for you to hear how she started hollering. Hold on, let me. She started hollering.
Asking for your badge number, and I wasn't clear on why you weren't giving me your badge number. Oh my God! I'm name of Jesus. Please, God, in the name. Why am I being arrested, Mr. Brooks? I'm going to sign a ticket. Mr. Brooks, why am I being arrested?
Mr. Brooks.
Why am I being arrested? I don't
The
understand
whole
why I'm
head
being
wrap
arrested. Can you
came
please tell
on.
me why I'm being arrested?
Turn around and put your hands behind your
Tell
back.
me why I'm being arrested. I have the right. I have the right to
You're
know.
gonna be tased.
Oh my God.
Put your hands behind your back and stop resisting. Stop resisting.
She legit thought that this would never happen in a million years to her.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Come on, sir. This is unnecessary. What are you doing? This is over. This over.
So the crying that she's doing now, imagine that she
continued. I'm sorry.
So imagine she continued that particular type of crying. She did that for probably about 10, 15 minutes after he put her in the car. And then she even proceeded to pray for him in the car.
Oh, God.
She said, "Dear Lord, whatever evil spirits is on Officer Brooks, please take them off, Lord. Get rid of that aggression." Like she went double time with it. And now by that point, I was like, "Nah, let me cut this off."
That's why
I said, because I can't do it.
It's like, that's what I say. I'm gonna keep saying everybody wrong here, but I haven't met that person, that girl, many a times, so I know what it was.
It's like, why let it get that hot, girl? And then, I mean,
he don't get me
you
wrong.
just had to sign the ticket. I mean, you have a right to ask what's going on, but like I said, I just try to keep down confusion.
Just
like,
I got to go. I got to get back to the hotel.
Right. I ain't got time to be out here on the ground crying and stuff.
And the thing is, and this was what, the 8th when this happened. So what day was that? Like no, it was the 9th. So I think it was like Monday. So it'd be different if it was like the weekend where you fear that I'm gonna be in prison over the weekend and jail over prison. But it was a Tuesday. It was a Monday. You possibly could have got on Tuesday. So I did feel bad for her, like I said, because I feel like he did it a little bit too far. But at the same time, by the time she started hollering and started praying for him in the car about the demons, I was just like, it's a bit much. And mind you, by the end of this dude had like 5 or 6 cop cars out here for this little bitty woman who ain't that big. And he had like 3 or 4 officers helping to pin her to the ground. So that was where I said, okay, this is a big much. She's not that big.
But at some point on her part, it ought to be like eye.
She never did that because the whole time she cried.
Just let it go.
Or was just like, wait, what? I just wanted to talk to you. Wait, just what? Obviously, the guy is not very negotiable at the moment. Just
listen, write up some more tickets. Listen, you want to be, you want to give me all this stress, and I'm just trying to, I'm about to write you up some more tickets, and you figure that out in court because I ain't got time to be here. Around with you rolling around on the ground.
Right, it's a mixed bag.
If I was a police officer, like, and she ain't really committing no life.
See, that's why I couldn't be no police officer. I'd be the laziest one. I ain't giving tickets. Everybody getting a warning because I ain't got time.
I will say though,
not doing nothing. How they be doing?
I'm gonna have my donut.
I will say though, I do think some of the backlash on her part, sorry at the risk of sounding like a feminist, it is what it is. It's because she a black chick. Because if it was a dude, y'all be like, oh no, they ain't got the right to do that. He might have been shot. But if they be like, oh, he ain't got the right to do that. He could have been did whatever. But I guess he gave the black dude a ticket too. So that don't really. But he kind of just signed and was done with it.
No, because he heard that you gonna go to jail. He was like, oh.
I already got a couple now. He probably
now the one person I will give respect to in this video is her guy.
Yeah.
Because the guy had her back the whole time. Now he didn't act crazy because he's like, we both can't go to jail. Yeah. But he was like, hey dude, you ain't gotta do all that. You ain't gotta do all that. She ain't doing nothing. You ain't gotta do all that.
That's because her guy know that they don't give no damn if you want to negotiate. Once they want to arrest you, he probably done had it. And not to say that he has ever been locked up. I ain't trying to have that, stereotype. But I'm sure because of the color of his skin, he done probably had a run into two, and he know the stages of them not giving a damn. And it's like, all right, look, ain't nothing I can do, sir. Could you look? He doing the best he can to help you out, girl.
He had the camera up the whole time, and dude was like, back up. Now I'm just trying to film. Back up. He was like,
she ain't got to do nothing like that. It would have been nice, but he couldn't say, hey, baby, could you just
They didn't beat her. I mean, you know, black men, they get all punched up if they resist an arrest.
Oh, no, but her arrest was not easy. I will say that, Jametrice, you didn't actually see when they actually cuffed her. When they cuffed her, it's not peaceful.
But
it wasn't peaceful.
He would have been initially down. He wouldn't even did that whole dance that she did.
The way they pulled Sarah Dwayne out that car, the way that man did.
No, because like her actual, when they finally got her cuffed, it wasn't pretty. It was not, because it was like 3 of them on her at one time.
So I wonder if she could have like a claim in that sense. Like, I wonder what.
I mean, the thing is, she can have a claim because she's a lighter tone person. So, like I told you, by the time they got her arrested on the ground, she was red. So I know she got bruises. So she could easily say excessive force. But Atlanta PD their statement was the officer did what he was supposed to do. He literally told her what the consequences were. She did not comply. So he was in the right, is what they said.
Technicalities. According to the law, he is the law. And you did not comply with the law. You were stated what would happen, and then you resisted arrest at that point.
Right, because the two cops came up. One said, "Oh, you can hit her with obstruction." The other dude was like, "Well, she is disturbing the peace," and then one of them was like, "Resisting arrest." I was like, "Well, dang, y'all gonna give her 4 charges?"
Disturbing the peace to who? The squirrels and the birds?
To the animals?
In the bird? Get out of here!
Nobody home, man.
Right, because the other one was like, "Yeah, resisting arrest." I was like, "These dudes ain't." And mind you, they all were black. All of them were black.
He kept saying, and he didn't even say resisting. Right? He was like, we used to like laugh about it. You're resisting arrest. You're resisting. I said, first of all, who are you, sir, at the movie theaters dressed in regular clothes, and all because you felt like somebody was being loud, and it wasn't even me. That's the craziest thing. But even if somebody's being loud in a movie theater and they supposed to get arrested because they were loud in a movie theater, and you just start yanking and pulling me out because you ain't know who. I was like directly behind him in the middle. So it's like, you're resisting arrest. You arrest. Who are you? And you're arresting me. Like, I don't even know who you are. You look like a random regular man in the movie theater. And
like, you lucky ain't got no pepper spray because you been got.
And the fact, and I sat at the police station. I never got like in a holding cell, but I was sitting at the police station like, what time can I go? Because I mean, like, what's happening here? Like, so I just know for a couple experiences that I had, like, when I just be trying to like, give me, I sign it and leave. I mean, signing stuff got me in trouble, but.
And yeah, so that's the thing. To me, it was just a terrible situation. I do feel bad that she got yoked up on the ground, but it was a terrible situation. So, just last topic of the day, I just wanted to bring this conversation up because I had a conversation with a coworker of mine this week. And I couldn't find the video again. You know how randomly you'll be on Facebook and Facebook will show you you'll watch one video and it starts giving you these random other videos. I saw this video of a young lady. It's one of them guys who comes up with a cell phone and asks them all these stupid questions or whatever. Yeah. So he came up to the girl and was like, you got a boyfriend? She was like, yeah. He was like, do you trust your boyfriend? And she was like, yeah. He was like, do your friends know your boyfriend? He was like, yeah. And she was like, do you know? And he asked she's with her 2 best friends. They're in Miami. He said, do you know her boyfriend? One of the friends says, oh yeah, I know him really well. And so to me, I'm already like, okay, this ain't gonna end well. So then he said, oh, we're gonna see how great her boyfriend is, how faithful he is. So he has the 2 friends. He says, do you have his cell phone number? One of the friends says yes, the other one says no. So he said, can you call him up? We're gonna call him up and tell him y'all want to Netflix and chill. So the 2 friends call up the other girl's friend's boyfriend and says, oh, they want to Netflix chill. The one who says, oh, I don't really know him like that. I don't have his number. She's the one that's talking. And she says, oh, you want to Netflix and chill? Me and so want to come over and Netflix and chill. And he says, really? He said, she's like, tonight, can we come over and Netflix chill? He was like, oh man, I don't know. We already got our own thing going on. Do you sure you want to bring her into it too? And so it's one of those things you're like, wait a minute, this ain't what I was expecting. I'm thinking the friend that says I know him really well will be the one that has something going on with him, but she's not. It's the other friend who said, I don't know him. I don't have his number. And so it took the best friend a while to grasp what her man said to her best friend. And she was like, wait a minute, what? And he said, yeah, we already got our own thing going on. Do you want to bring up? And she said, wait a minute, because I don't think he knows he's talking to his girlfriend. And so he realizes, when he realizes his girlfriend is there, of course, he hangs up the phone. So her best friend basically says that, oh, yeah, we've been having something going on for 6 months. He says he wants to leave you because he really don't like you like that anyway. And the whole thing is, the guy who's coming up, who was asking the question, was like, but that's your best friend. How long have y'all known each other? Oh, we've known each other since junior high. So they all been friends since junior high. And she's like, but why? I'm your friend. Why would you not tell me? I mean, you don't do what you're supposed to do. So that's why he said he don't really like you like that anyway. And so the friend is upset in the end. She's like, she asked her other friend, basically, how can you stand by our friend doing me like this? And this girl said, oh, I've been knew that they was messing with each other. And basically the girl ends up saying she's going to leave Miami. And they was like, well, go. We finna still have fun. Have fun on your trip back to yourself, on the plane by yourself back. And so I was telling somebody about this video, and I said, see, this is why I'm too old for new friends. And she was like, what do you mean? Because I've had this conversation with a lot of people. I said, at a certain age, I think you become too old for new friends. And what I mean by that is, friends are somebody you have to be able to really, truly depend on to call them your friends. And you can't just be friends after 2 weeks. You got literally friends are a proven and tested, tried thing over time to me. And I said to her, I said, most of the time people, because of Facebook, have this false belief that just because I knew you from work and I add you as a friend, that means we're friends. No, you're a work associate. And so apparently people think my concept is weird to say that you're at a certain age, you become too old for new friends, because these are people that are supposed to be tried and true, and they're there for you. You know they're going to be there for you. So I just wanted to ask you ladies, this is not celebrity based. I just want to ask you ladies, what do you feel about the concept of being too old for friends? Or do you think that's a concept that makes sense? Or can you just develop friends at any age and anybody can be your friend?
I personally think you can develop friends at any age, because I think, especially since you evolve, if anything, what I've experienced as of late, new friends old friends fall off, because you get different, things change, people's lifestyles change, people mentalities towards stuff change, feelings about you come out that you ain't never knew nothing about, but things just, I guess, be changing. But I meet people along the way, depending on, that's why I'm like cool with my coworkers, because I meet people along the way that at that time in my life, because I done gone through so much stuff, they have been through a lot of stuff with me and have definitely shown me like friendship when it comes to those things, like my good, bad, or whatever. Like, they've seen all facets of me, and it's also because I don't pick friends on a superficial level. I know of people that pick friends because they look a certain way, or it fits a certain aesthetic for what they think they friends circle supposed to be. I pick people for their character. And so when I like somebody, I just like them. I just I'm just cool with them. So I think you can meet new people along the way. Should everybody be your friend along the way? No. I definitely am selective when it comes to who I do hang with and stuff like that, because friends can be a liability like that. Because I'm here to tell you, I ain't got a friend, nobody that my friends have ever dated who I am attracted to. Or I can even fathom. Thank goodness we are all different in that way. So I think you can get new friends as you come. But yeah, you shouldn't, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't label them as my friend in the first 2 weeks. Yes, I got to see some things that make me be like, okay.
Jametrice?
Kelly, I'm still waiting for your other friend to call me. No, I've been deemed to, I guess, have a lot of friends, from an old friend that used to say that. She used to say, you have to have a lot of friends. And it wasn't that I have to have friends. I just moved a lot of different places and gathered one or two on the way. And I would say, as I continue, and as I've gotten older, I haven't met any new friends. In a way, I'll take that back. One of my old friends that was like my best friend, her friend actually became my friend, and
I want
she
to be her friend.
you met her. You said
I have. That's why I say I want to be her friend.
We're gonna listen when things tighten up. We're gonna all hang out because and I think she subscribed. I gotta
But you know, because she reminds me of a 2.0. I always call her my old friend 2.0.
You can say your old friend name because we don't
is
even
a
know.
doppelganger, but
that's the friend waiting for her to call back, because I really feel like they've been friends for so long, and I just feel that it just sucks because sometimes it's senseless things that shouldn't break up a friendship that could be simply talked about, and it wasn't even that big of a deal. And some people just write you off for nothing. So my friend that we're not friends anymore, I became very cool with her friend, and her friend has actually been like in my these last so many months of things I've been going through. She's been very pivotal.
Yep, I got you. We got you.
What she said in my life, so it kind of it made me think like, as I'm getting older and I haven't had like a lot of new friendship relationships, that new friends it depends on how they are and their character and the things that, because it's some people that you can be friends with.
So when did she become your friend though? How long ago?
We met her. I think me and Kelly met her at the same time. That was like 2017.
Oh. Yeah, that was a while ago.
I think that was the year my best friend passed away, and we had just met her, and then like about a couple weeks later, my best friend passed away. So I don't know when we solidified our friendship, but as me and our other friend that we shared, as our friendship dwindled, I had told her, I said, hey, now me and her, we're probably not going to no longer speak again. And if you don't want to speak to me no longer because we met through her, let me know now. And she was like, nah, I talk to you more than I talk to her anyway. So I was like, oh, okay, well, cool. We'll just keep going on like how we've been going on. And we talk on the phone. She be traveling back from Vegas to California. So I've been at her home. She's been at my home. Like we've went out, like we was meeting up for lunch and stuff like that. She's actually getting married next year. I'll be at the wedding. I'm gonna see the old friend again. So and I'm like, dang, I wish they list wasn't big, because I want, and it shouldn't be awkward now because I actually have reached out to my old friend because she had a death in the family. But other than that, like I think we can have new friends, because a lot of the old friends, depending on who they are, they ain't true themselves, and you'll be very shocked that people you've been friends with since you were kids or high schoolers, and they'll still turn on you. I mean, my friend that passed away, one of her best friends slept with her sister's baby daddy, and I'm like, I have a friend that her dude seems a little sketchy sometimes, but since she trusts me, that's not something she has to worry about, and so it's like you do have to know the character of your friends. And your friends shouldn't be attracted to your man. Even if you have a nice looking man, it's like you gotta look for signs, because I just seen a lot of little stuff growing up, and I was able to weed out who would be my friend too, because if even though he attractive, you kind of looking at him a little bit too hard, or you know what I'm saying? So,
but if it's your friend, it should almost trump. Because to me, with my friends, I get like a protective thing about them. I don't care how cute you is. Wait a minute, you messing with my friend? You got the nerve to be trying to come on to me like you trying to hurt my friend? You ain't, you low down, dirty dog. I don't care how cute you are. I ain't that hard up for no dude that I'm gonna do that.
And then you have to wonder about a friend. Like, I thought one of my coworkers was gonna be a good friend of mine. She was 10 years older than me. I actually rented from her when I first came to California. She said she needed help. We had a very good dynamic. We talked about a lot of things. It was some things we didn't agree on about the pillow talk word, but other than that, she had a man that came to town. That was her ex. That was a known cheater. Had a baby on her. He tried to talk to me. I didn't tell her. And, you know, our friendship dwindled behind a situation where you had this man that has always cheated on you, had a baby on you. And just because I didn't tell you he tried to talk to me, eventually I did. But it was like, dang, she was ready to wash her hands of me so she could keep this cheating, lying ass man around. And if I was one of those dog women or that was trying to do, I could have been doing everything behind your back in your house. You know what I mean? And you basically got rid of a good friend when if you had your other friends, they probably sleep with your man by now. So I do think we could have new friends. You know, they have that whole term like no new friends. But I mean, as you grow and you get older, and some people are meant to be in your life, you never even know why they're meant to be there. I do believe that we are meant to cross paths with certain people because you just never know what purpose that people hold in your life, and it could be very of value. Yes, I think new friends are.
I ain't taking no new friends. I'm not taking no applications. I'm not approving no application. Everybody is denied.
Yeah, so
Kelly, I might take you on.
Like,
I take Kelly on.
Right, like.
Because I done heard so much about Kelly. I knew about Kelly for so many years though. So it's different. Me and Michi have, oh God. You were before I said I wasn't taking any friends, Michi. So it's different. Because you've been around for 11 years. So it's different.
Wait, you believe it's been 11 years? It's still
yeah. Oh yeah, 11 years, girl. So right. Michi, and I've heard about Kelly for so long. So I just never knew Kelly until this year. So I might take Kelly along because I kind of know her. Of her. But in general, it's just like sometimes, like recently, I have tried to do the whole new friend thing and you meet new people. And it's just a lot of people I've realized, and I don't know if maybe because you during COVID, you had the opportunity to see people in their natural elements that you meet. I meet so many people that they're not as sincere as you think they are. I had a girl who I knew. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to make a new friend, even though I said I'm not doing new friends. And she was a nice enough person, but she also had other friends, and she talks about her other friends a lot to the point that you're like, do you really even like these people that you've known for years? Because every time you're around me, you're saying such negative things. And it wasn't just negative. It was like slightly, some of the stuff was like downright disrespectful that if somebody heard you say some of the stuff you're saying, those are fighting words. They would literally tell you, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I was like, it's kind of weird. And then they started getting to my head. I was like, well, if you could say that about people you've known for years to me, who you've only met a year ago, what do you say about me when I'm not around? Mm-hmm. And so because of that, we ended up at one point in time, I said something to her to the effect of, I think it's really weird that you hang out with these people and put it all over social media that, you know, this is your friends, blah, 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 blah. But you say some of the craziest things about them when they're not around. And she took it as, oh, you can't be checking me, telling me what to do in my life. And I was like, it's not about that. I said, what I'm saying is it's not sincere to me for you to say, oh, I'm catching up with my friends who I haven't seen in a long time. But in reality, you're talking about them like a dog. So is that really your friend that you care to see who you haven't seen in a long time? Or is it just, I want to do something that seems cool on social media, so I'm telling people that I was around these people? And so that's why I said it's kind of hard for me to feel like sometimes you can meet new friends, because it's almost like people sometimes will be your friend just for what they can get out of people. Yeah. And go ahead, Jametrice, you can say something.
I was trying to put it, but yeah, I get that, because one of that old friend, she used to one time she said that to me, but she never said I talked about my friends like a dog, but she was just like, it was a time when we picked her up, me and my friend, and she was talking on the phone with a guy. And my friend was like, who's she talking to? And I was like, girl, I don't know. You know, I probably won't hear about it from, like a year from now, you know. And I said that right in front of her face. It wasn't like no jab or anything, but that particular friend, sometimes she's an open book, and sometimes she don't tell you stuff till like a year later. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, so sometimes you'll hear from her for like a year later. So I mean, like her business or whatever. So, you know, some friends, you know who they man are. I mean, the people they're dating, you know what I mean, at the time. And sometimes she was just, I didn't know, unless she claimed them as a boyfriend and she didn't really have many. I didn't really know who she was talking to sometimes, if she was talking to anybody or anything, because best friends or not, she didn't tell me all the time. So I didn't feel no type of way. I just didn't know who she was talking to, nor that. So when she heard that conversation, mind you, she was in the car, she felt like, you know, things started getting very weird around that time anyway, because it was when I got a new car. It was like I didn't tell her right away. And it was just literally a day ago, you know what I'm saying, that I had got the new car. But things started getting very weird between me and her. And when we had a conversation, that was one of the things she told me. She was like, 'cause I had to ask her, like, you know, what's going on with our friendship? And she was just like, well, I feel like, you know, if you talk about your friends behind they back, I feel like you're talking about me. Like when I got in the car that one day, I feel like that y'all previously talked about me. And I was like, well, first of all, what have I said about my friends to you that will make you feel that I talk about them behind their back? Because I'm curious to know. She didn't really have nothing to say. Now, if me and Kelly get into it, right? And I'd be like, dang, I call Leo and say, hey, Leo, LB, hey, girl, like,
I'm a Leo.
Yeah. Can you believe that me and Kelly and she said that I said this? I have every right to talk about a situation that I had with a friend to another friend. That shouldn't make your, like, you shouldn't have no view about her because that's not something that happened to you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it was some downright dirty stuff, then of course I probably wouldn't be a friend no more, and you can have your own views about that. But I can talk about my situation if something occurred. Now, as far as my friend's personal business, Kelly has been my friend since 4th grade. Now, it's times where she has been with me and a friend, and she's witnessed my friend's personal man problems with us. You know, so if you witness a situation and we're all together, then she's abreast to your situation. If that particular friend talks about her issues with her boyfriend and you're abreast to her situation. Now, that particular time when we had a situation, my friend had a situation in front of us, did we talk about that situation? We didn't really go into depth because everybody has the issues with their boyfriends.
But that's different than to talk about a situation that had to happen to you versus I'm going to tell you some shady stuff.
That's why her coochie stank. She ever tell you that she do this and da da da.
Right. So
that's like off
script, off screen, I'm going to tell you about it. But I'm not going to say it on here. Some of the stuff that I heard, but it's just like crazy. It's like disrespectful stuff that like, oh my God, if somebody heard you say that, they punch in your face.
Yeah. No, and that's what I would say. You know what I'm saying? I would just say that, you know, it's when people talk about you and you hear, or if you hear them talk about their friends, you do listen to what they're saying about their friends. Because how long are you going to be friends with this person if you really feel this way about her? And if you feel this way about her, then what do you feel about me? And
right.
Because it's like, you know, you ain't supposed, you can talk about people on the street all day long, but people that you're supposed to be near, dear, close to your heart. I mean, regardless if they have some effed up ways about you, you do need to evaluate why you're friends with them anyway. You know what I mean? If you find yourself just talking about them, I found myself talking about situations about that ex-friend a lot, and I didn't like the fact that I was like, she was in my vocabulary. I knew it was like, dang, this sucks. This was sad, but I never dogged her out. And I just think that's, if I ever consider you a friend, I literally like love you like a sister. You know what I'm saying? And my own sister, I don't dog out. Now, I didn't say some stuff that she did to me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I felt that she's done wrong or whatever the case might be.
You ain't telling no lie. Yeah. But that's how, like, when you said with character, I had a person, one of my coworkers, like, I feel like friendships sometimes can be like relationships, to where if you right now, I ain't doing them because I'm done with it. But I'm just done. I've been talking time. But anyways, you have to try people out, and then once they show you
Shorty, give me. I'm sorry, it just pops to my head every time.
You have to, man. Okay, so I had this coworker that was a superior of mine, and they did something. We were friends, and it was like 3 of us, and we were friends, and she did something in her position that made me be like, I'm not your friend. And it had nothing to do with, oh, she needed to cover up for me, she needed to do whatever. She straight out lied on something. And then when someone else came through to add on to that, and she knew it was a lie from get-go, she took that other person's side. And she was not only supposed to be my friend, but my supervisor, and she knows she lied. So it was like, you tried to sabotage me. And then I remember my other friend at the time, when I was telling her, I ain't messing with her. And she was like, no, she was like, no, it's like, I just don't like the way she do stuff at work, but outside of it, I was like, no, that's a character flaw. She lied. And then she put it, first of all, it's just straight out unethical. I don't care if I wasn't her friend. It's like, what make you do some stuff like that?
To lie on somebody is a big thing.
And then it's like, and then the fact that on top of it, you had no problem doing it to what you consider a friend. I hate to see who you do it to.
Your enemies, though.
So it's like, no, I can't mess with you because I'm gonna bust you in your face. This can't work. So and then after that, like fast forward months later, that same friend that was taking up for her, she did the same thing. She's like, Kelly, you told. I was like, didn't I tell you? She's like, you told me.
When they show you who you are, who they are, you better listen.
And she's like, I just thought that it was just different. No, you act how you act. Don't get me. There's a difference between following a rule because you have to follow a rule at work, but doing things, calculated things to stir up trouble and stuff like that, and that's something else. That's not you. That has nothing to do with it. That's your character. That's stuff.
And what about the friends that don't really like you?
Yeah.
And it's sad that people that there's a lot of friends who don't.
I didn't know that you could hide stuff like that. And I didn't know until it happened to me. I did not know that you could hide stuff like that. And then, like, I'm telling you, I was sitting there and I was thinking today in the car, and I'm thinking back to the little jabs that this particular friend would say. And then I'll be like thinking back on it. It was like, that was kind of shade. But it take a lot. It take a lot to get to me as far as words and stuff like that. Because to me, and the reason why I didn't take it to the level with this friend that I did, because I hate to say it, I ain't saying I'm the baddest, but let's be clear. To me, you can't whoop my ass, so you can say whatever you want to say. I don't care.
You know, words don't bother me, but what I don't like is when you destroy someone's character. That's different.
Yeah.
When you're trying to put something out there to make them look a certain way, that's different.
But it's like, I think I've sowed enough seeds as far as my character with other people to where they know me. So whatever somebody else said to me can't do nothing to me.
Girl, that's how I feel, because I don't care what you say about me. Yeah, I got my ways, but I think
because Jametrice is crazy, y'all.
Everybody say I be like, well, what kind of crazy? Like,
I'm messing with you. Demetrice, I done been through so much with her at a job. So I'm there. She know I'm there.
Look, she didn't work with me before, and I'd be like, my man be like, I used to, but now it's like, I think when you know somebody's trying to maliciously hurt you or do something malicious, or I didn't ever even think, like, people used to ask me, was that so-called friend jealous? Honestly, I never even thought of a friend could be jealous of me. I think that all my friends are beautiful. I think they all got stuff going for themselves. They got their own personalities. I think that's the reason why I gravitated and I came into people's circle, because it's the personality that got me. Like your friend, the one that ain't, you know what I mean? I used to like be so confused sometimes, necessarily like with the personality, because I'd be like, dang, y'all, when she used to talk about when she did start getting edgier, I didn't know she had that in her. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But I have a friend that people were confused about her personality, but when I was around her, I'm like, I know, I just get something, you know what I mean? We be laughing, we be kicking, and she's not real docile, you know what I mean? So I think it's the personality. I think it's the connection that you have with people. And when you ain't, somebody's not trying to be malicious or do something wrong to you, you know what I mean? Those are people that you can't keep around. Like,
those are the times you have to literally reevaluate.
You do.
If you need to be around somebody.
And it don't matter the time. People, it's like it's quality, not quantity. Just because you've been friends,
and
with
that's the
somebody
problem. A
for
lot of people want to have a
time,
lot of friends for some random
and you
reason,
want
like
to
to say
hang
you
on
have
friends
them.
because we known each other for so long. Sometimes it is time for stuff to just be done.
Let me tell you, I can tell
Or
you,
we
each one
can
of my
revisit
friends.
later. Right now in this time in our life, because to me, I don't feel like it's like done. For me, it's like this time in our life, look, you going through something, you feel like something, whenever you ready to talk, whenever you ready to hash it out, I ain't got no hard feelings about it. I'm here. But at this point, I can't give a shit. Sorry. I can't. I'm not. I think I saw that one lady that said that I'm too old to be working on friendships. Yeah, you either there or you ain't. It's like I can't. I'm here to talk and talk it out about whatever is going on in it. But if you want to be basic, if you want to, stump your feet about certain things and be passive aggressive about certain things, I can't help you. I'm not
You're
gonna
gonna do
go.
that on your own.
First of all, it ain't me to do it for just me, period. It ain't for me to do it. Just for anybody, for my children, for my mother, for nobody. I literally have zero tolerance for passive aggression. If you gonna pretend like it ain't there, me too. And I'm gonna be happy about it. You still gonna be stewing in your stuff. It's like, but I'm here whenever you feel like you want to get it out.
And that's one thing about me. I feel like, because some people have asked me, will I be friends with her again?
Mm-hmm.
My son is throwing stuff at me.
But listen, Beachy, we ain't got to make it all about her. You good? You can.
No.
You just talking about friends in general.
I just
that's not even mention her.
About that. I just feel like that I'm a type of person that, depending on what you've done, I'm always still open to. I mean, I don't know if we should be friends, but I mean, I'm just saying, I'm always open to a friendship. If you ain't really did nothing to me, I
ain't that person. I ain't always open when the
book
is closed, the door is when it's closed. I ain't opening it back. No peeking in it. It's closed.
I'm not
I just feel like I would like for you to know your reasons of why you're friends with me. And I mean, I don't know if that's too much for people, but I think I know. I mean, I didn't never have to sit and think of, well, why am I friends with Kelly?
This is true.
But if
this
you
is true.
If you think about your friends, then
I be having to think about why I'm friends with Jametrice. I'm just
I give you something. I'm saying, but no, I'm just saying. And then you see, and you're still here, like so. It's
for now.
Going nowhere.
They close that book.
Right? What you mean?
But just speaking of friends, let me show this because we gonna end on a good night. Because a good night, Lord's a day. This the daytime, y'all. It's sun outside. Just end on a good note. I wanted to put this up because I went to a water lantern festival this past week as an ending. So I had told Jametrice last Friday I was going. So I asked her. She had a friend that passed away, as she mentioned earlier, that she really truly loved. And so I was like, oh, I'll do a lantern. I'll put her on my lantern. So I just wanted to show you guys the lanterns because it was actually really cool. Because it reminded me, if you've ever seen the movie Tangled, there's a part in Tangled when they have like those little water lanterns are going across. And so I just always, you see it on Disney movie type of stuff all the time.
Joy Luck Club.
Oh, see, I didn't see Joy Luck. And so I did these lanterns that I was just so happy about. That was for my aunt who passed away this past year. My granddad, that's like my heart, that passed away a couple years ago. And then I did one just to tell everybody who was an uncle, brother, cousin, sister, whatever. And then I did one for Jametrice's friend.
R.I.P. Tanisha.
And then I just wanted you guys to see how, because like once they actually started we started putting the lanterns in the water, it was the coolest thing to me. So the music was very depressing, by the way. I was like, this is so depressing with this music.
Think fondly of them while still having a little bit of a nice.
No, because people would start playing this music. People just started crying. Like, this is just depressing. Because they asked people to share their stories about their loss, and I did laugh at one person's story. I know I shouldn't have, But I couldn't help it because everybody was telling these stories about their best friends, their mothers, and everything. This person got up and started talking about their dog. I said,
dang, they dog on the road.
It didn't last that long, y'all. Like,
I understood. I was like, I understand people dog is like their family. I said, but people talk about his best friend that committed suicide, somebody's mother, and then this dude's like, this lady's like, she used to come and lick my hand when I came to the door, and I was like, really, ma'am?
If you don't go bad, I'm not gonna say people. That's why I ain't got no pets because one pass on. I probably just go buy one that look like them again. You know what I'm saying?
Don't say that because I love my babies.
You got pets?
My
fish, that don't count.
Girl.
Listen, my fish was sick this past week, okay? And I had to put her on a fast because she was eating too much and she had stomach bloating, so she couldn't swim right.
Girl, I was in charge of Mr. Jackson's fish. Boy, you talking about? I was like, no, they ain't gonna get no pinch today. I'm tired, girl. Dumped the whole thing food in there, and he gonna tell me like, when he was out of town, he's like, "Did you overfeed them?" I was like, "Dang, how you know?"
Yes, because fish can be overfed. I had to explain it to my boyfriend. That's why my fish got sick in the first place.
Yeah, he think
so today is the last day of her fast, and then Violet will be okay.
Girl, now fish, I don't think them real pets, but
I'm terrible.
Listen, I'm about to end the stream because this girl don't talk about my fish, and I'm not doing it.
But you know what though? Just with all, I treat all pets equally to a certain extent. Because my cat, I'm gonna need him to learn. Okay, he an animal. He's supposed to get the instincts. He throw up all the time. You know why? Because that sucker like to eat plastic. It's not edible, sir. Yeah, I know it don't taste good. Stop eating plastic. I ain't about to go crazy and go to no vet. I got cat insurance, but they not going to the vet for that. Stop eating plastic. Eventually, he learned. Let's not eat plastic. After he was throwing up.
I don't even know why your cat eating plastic though.
Because I'm telling you, my cat is a real Negro. Like for real.
We're gonna post a picture of her cat. I gotta get a picture of the cat.
Yes, we don't care. I'm
Salem
gonna
or Binks?
Binks. You know, Salem is the prissy. She followed directions. She actually talked to you, tell you what you want. Binks, he lay right in the middle of the doorway. Yeah, you gonna be over me. Don't care if you doing something, I'm gonna lay on here. Yeah, you told me not to eat that, and I probably got a little pow for not doing it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I'm gonna look at you while I'm doing it. Like he just a real Negro. He don't care. But he cuddly and he funny, he cute, and he black.
And Jametrice don't have no pets.
We had a cat. Okay, listen. I think my brother had a dog. I think I don't know if my mom ran him over or not. I don't even know if that was really our dog. But anyway,
that's why she don't like pets.
We had a cat that my mom named Pepper, and that cat used to get out, and one time he came back beat up, and I just never knew what happened to Pepper. I don't think I think it left one day and never came back, and I'm like, dang, did we even really care? Like, and then my brother had a ferret named Mia, and that thing used to get out and scare people.
But you naming everybody pets. What pet did you have?
I don't want a pet now. I mean, maybe
I'm gonna buy Juice a gerbil.
Puppy. No, they like all those little poopies, like
and they stink too, by the way.
Yeah, I would get like one of those little dogs that don't grow. That's what
That's more to take care of than a gerbil.
Yeah.
But listen, we're not gonna subject y'all to our random animal conversation. So I would like to thank everybody for watching the videos. We will make sure that we get them up, and I'll put them up in clips as well for everybody to just find their topic they're interested in. Once again, thank you for tuning in to 3Ps on the Pod, and I'm one of your hosts. I'm L.B.Shari.
Michi.
And Kelly B, that's me.
All right, tuning in next week. We'll see ya. Peace out.
Bye.